Right, again, obviously that's a work in progress of the William Tell Overture. Hello, give me a quick update of everything that's going on. Got the open mic night at the Penny Theatre coming up. Just like to get my hand in the paper where I can, you know. Yeah, I thought I'd just give you a bit of a brief history of everything that's going on. I'm sure if you've been on my website, you know it already, or if you know me, you know the history already. I'm going on the assumption that you don't, so I'm going to give you a more like bumping, drop your pick, history of Paul H. Right, so started very early influence musically with my parents. Just go to the local folk club in Southampton on Friday night, and you'll be surrounded by live music, just beautiful, all these wonderful instruments, you know, guitars, my dad on the banjo, we've got tin whistles, accordions. I don't think there was much call for ukuleles back then, but we had someone on a baran drum, you know, the Irish drum, and it was just such a real environment to be surrounded by, and that's why I always have since onwards and upwards loved folk. So yeah, that was the first, like, it wasn't even an influence, to be honest. It was just life. It was just normal for me that every Friday night we go into a pub, up the stairs into the room above the pub, and everyone would play music. And predominantly my dad would play Australian folk music, because my dad's Australian. But obviously you'd have like a lot of covers of Danny Boy and the like would get played. And yeah, it was beautiful, just beautiful surroundings. And that was the only real music that had much interest, if you like. Everything else was just a bit of a joke musically. And then when I was 5, my mum gave me Queen's Greatest Hits on cassette, which I've still got, kept away somewhere safe. And yeah, and of course Bohemian Rhapsody at 5 years old. Bohemian Rhapsody is just a funny song, isn't it? You know, but I'm surprised that tape's lasted, because I have listened to it to death since. And obviously because of an early influence of rock music in the form of Queen, I got heavily into Queen early on. Since then, you know, I mean, I'd cut out a newspaper, I'd buy a magazine for a 2-page article about like Queen, so you know, I'm big massive fan. No, you know, I've got no shame in admitting I am a very big fan of Queen. And I'd found out about like other heavier bands around the time, like, you know, your Led Zeppelins, your Black Sabbaths, Judas Priests, whatever, you know, bands that were around a similar-ish period. And so I'd listen to the music from these sorts of bands and whatnot. And my dad had already told me about Jimi Hendrix, so I'd already been, you know, yeah, I'd already had that influence on me. Awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much the way it went with me. I think I was about 12 when I first started on the guitar, which was years, many years ago. And I got to be honest, to begin with, I was having a lot of trouble with the strings, because it was a steel string folk guitar that my dad had. And yeah, so I wimped out. It's actually funny, because I wimped out on guitar because it was hurting my fingers. And then when I was 13, I started lifting weights. So, you know, hurts my fingers, so I'll just go pump iron, because it won't hurt my fingers. And yeah, I think I was about 15, late 14, definitely 15, which was years ago that I picked up the guitar properly then. Because I always be listening to music always listening to music, and I always knew I wanted to be a musician. You know, it's always there. And then yeah, I was about 15, and I sort of, I suppose I followed the self-taught rule that most people do. You know, learn your learn your tabs, Google your songs, away you go. And yeah, that's pretty much what then. A high diet of lots of simple covers, you know, simple like a bit of Dylan. I'm not knocking on heavens. You get the idea. So yeah, well, that was on this. This is still new. This is the 12 string. It's very new. This was Christmas, so pre this it was playing on the 6 strings. But yeah, so I followed all the simple songs I could find tabbed off, and just covers. There's so many. Let's face it. There's so many awesome songs out there. There's so many wonderful material to cover. So yeah, I followed my covers for a while, and yeah, it was only about the last couple of years, 2, 3, 4, a couple of years, where I decided, hang on a minute, come on now, come on, don't be silly. You can hear me talking. I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the camera. I'm doing a video. I'll be out soon. Right? Alright, that's not Connor. I think that's Shannon. Shannon, I'll be out soon, darling. Alright? Where was I? Yeah, so I started writing my own stuff a couple of years now. Because obviously, let's face it, that's where the money is. Well, no, just Joe. You can make a certain amount. You can earn a crust as a good enough covers band, but if you've got your own music as well to offer, then I don't feel guilty about saying charging a tenner for my album. It's got 11 tracks on it. It's got blood, sweat and tears put into it. It's got hours and hours and grinding and hours of work put into it. So yeah, it's worth a tenner because I grafted like no one's business for it. So yeah, but obviously if I'd done an album of covers, I wouldn't charge a lot for it, because it's not my music. I've got no right, really, have I, to charge anything more than what would be for like 3 hours of entertainment, essentially. Well, an album would be like an hour and a half or something like that. So you see where I'm going. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be a career musician, even back in the day when I was just writing covers, you know, just playing covers. Because you know, it's a passion, you know, and I can dither around on my day jobs, having bad days and not wanting to go to work today because it's the same thing, or I can have a job that I absolutely enjoy. Do not get bored of. It's one of the kids screaming there. I think that's Brandon. And yeah, and the two main things that really give me any sort of passion to that degree, and that is music and training. And well, I've got no desire to be like one of them big heavyweight world's strongest men. I've looked in strongman competitions in the lighter weights. I have considered it, but let's just say I'm much more advanced as a musician than I am a strongman. You know, and yeah, so yeah, there we go. So that's the history. I was brought up with real physical music, not just like people listening, putting on the records and what have you. Of course, I had that in the background as well, but we had a big variety of records when we was growing up as kids. That's me and my sister, you know. And yeah, I've always wanted to be a musician. Always wanted to be a guitarist, definitely. That's why, although I couldn't think of any lyrics, that's why I decided to, right, cut it, and how many songs does Joe Satriani sing? You know? Now, I'm not putting myself on his pedestal. Believe me, I'm not putting myself up there. Oh, for love nor money. You know, if in my dreams I thought I was as good as him, I would wake up and apologise. You know. But yeah, I mean, it can be done. There's a gap in the market for it. There's a call for it, but obviously most people relate more to lyrics and like songs they can sing along to. We're not gonna take it. People on the whole react more to that than they do to the actual music. So what I've basically got to do is have a load of like, thoroughbred musicians like myself who want to buy it. So I dare say it'll be a while before I make my first million. Obviously that's the dream. Anyone who says anything less is lying. Really, you want to make a little bit of silly money, don't you? That would be the dream. But I mean, at the moment, I'll take just being comfortable. If I can earn the sort of money I earn in my day job as a musician, I'll take that. I'll take that. As long as if this was my job, as long as I can put musician, as long as on the CV I can put musician, I'll take that. Even if I'm not earning loads of money. Obviously, I do have a wife and 4 kids to support, so I need money. I need money. So obviously, I can't afford to just like jack in the day job and go busk for 10 hours a day or what have you, waiting for the random musician producer to come round and hear me and be like, "Oh, he's amazing." So that is why it's a bit of an uphill struggle with me. It is, because there is so much else I've got to allow for. But I say the album's out. Love Life Kill Death. The album is out. It is released. It is available to purchase. You should be able to, if you look through the videos I've done on the Paul H. Love Life Kill Death full album preview or something like that, I think it's called. It gives you like a segment, like a starter of each of the tracks on the album, and then I run through each one of them, giving you an idea of what it's all about. So if you're intrigued but you don't know entirely, have a listen to that. And if you're still not sure entirely because you haven't heard the whole album, each song in its entirety, I understand. But if you can spare a tenner, buy a copy of it. Help out the struggling musicians, because we need the help. Right. Well, that was all this video was about. Obviously, done a little mess around there on the William Tell Overture. I used to actually know quite a bit more of that from tab. Yeah, I didn't play it by ear. I tabbed it, didn't I? Found a tab. That was about years. It was years ago. It was years ago. But I lost the tab, and now I can't find it again. I've been searching on things. I don't know. I'll try and ear it out on here. But we'll see how it goes. And well, that's it for now. I do want to try and keep at least one video a week for you. so we can keep updated on everything that's going on, and to remind you that I'm still around, and just ask you once a week to buy my album, will you? You know, and any other open mic night things I might have going on. I've been dropping my card in a few of the local venues. It is difficult when you're not exactly an established artist, you know, like you're not a known name around campus sort of thing, because there's, I mean, I don't know, is there anywhere with a bigger competition in the world than musician and solo musician as well? It's difficult because there's a lot of competition. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there that are probably a bit better than me. I'm willing to admit that. Unless the ones that haven't written my songs. Aha, see? There you go, you know. But, yeah, there's a lot of competition. I'm not the worst at what I do. I'm not. I might not be the best at what I do. Fair enough. So that goes in with the competition element with with being a musician, and you hear it time and time again. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and I don't know anyone. That's a lie. I know a couple of people who have like made it in a few bands and what have you, but I don't know. I don't think they've got 4 children. So yeah, that's the struggle. That is the constant difficulty to it, because I can't, as I say, I can't just, if I could just jack in the day job and scramp and just do whatever, you know, I'd do that. But I can't do that, and to be honest, I don't really want to do that. I mean, yeah, I want to spend all the time I can on music. I'll not tell a lie. I'll do that all day and all night. But I do have 4 children. You know, you got to put your thinking cap on every now and again about what's more important. You know, and you know, I don't want to be fretting about rent and gas bills and you know, all that. You don't want the worry. I mean, you know, so I have to leave it as it is for now, and then when I've made, I don't know, what do you reckon? Million's pushing it, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe when I've reached something like 500,000. There you go, Arthur. I'll go for Arthur. When I've reached 500,000, then I might jack in the day job and focus 100% on just the music and nothing else. Nothing else. In terms of work, you know. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to just keep juggling. Keep juggling with the day job, with the kids, my wife, guitar, and lifting weights. That's not actually the struggle, because I do that in the morning. I have breakfast, find a way to fit that in, and but yeah, what I really want to fit in most is the guitar. So yeah, well there you go. This is this week's video. There might not be a full 7-day gap or whatever, but yeah, there will be a video once a week minimum. If I can't think of anything to talk about, it will just be play a cover of something, and yeah, just genuine updates of everything that's going on. They won't all be long videos. I know this one's coming up it's gone 20 minutes. So I'm going to sign off, and I'll catch you all later. So I don't know why. See you later. Ta-da.